We're talking about Blink Twice. So Blink Twice is a 2024 American psychological thriller. It tells a story of a group of people invited to the private island of a billionaire tech mogul as something strange and sinister happens with the attendees. The film was directed and produced by Zoe Kravitz, and it's actually her first, the first movie or film that she produced, which is really cool. I only know Zoe Kravitz for her film work, and even then I don't really go too much into her own filmography. I'm not really too familiar with her in that sense. Kind of just know her, not as an influencer, but as a celebrity, not really Zoe Kravitz, the actress. From what I've heard, she acts pretty well, but she's not actually in this movie. She just directed it, which is really cool. Okay, so we'll start with a disclaimer. Number one, with any of my commentary and any of my reviews, just know that I'm not coming at it from a actual critical lens, a professional critical lens, let me say it like that. I'm coming at it as a regular average moviegoer. So I am the voice of the people, as they say, or not the people, but at least myself. I do enjoy movies, and I think I'm pretty good at picking up on things that maybe the average viewer doesn't pick up on. At the same time, I don't know too much about lighting and this happening for this reason and this happening for this reason, I'm coming at this at an average, as an average viewer. So let's just talk about the movie. We're just gonna go in order. I have my Wikipedia open because we're gonna try to remember things. So the movie starts with our main character. Her name's Frida. We get introduced to her and Jess, and they're basically cocktail waitresses. They're at a party, basically a nice little cocktail party. They're waitresses, like I said, and these cocktail parties are for very famous celebrities, and there's a celebrity that Frida is super into. His name is Slater King, I believe. Slater King. It cuts to an interview thing with Slater King, and basically there's a scandal going on with him about taking advantage of people and all that stuff, and so he's apologizing for it.
I don't know how else to say that I'm sorry, because I am sorry. I really am. I'm sorry.
So we already have this introduction of Slater King as the celebrity that for some reason Frida is really interested in, but also he's a celebrity with dark secrets, really sketchy past, and yes, he's apologizing for it, but as we learn later on in the movie, are all apologies really sincere. Because of the nature of the job, Frida and Jess are able to go to a cocktail party with a lot of celebrities. Slater King is one of them, and somehow Frida slips on the floor. Maybe there was water, girl, I don't know, but she slips on the floor, and she's on the floor being just embarrassed, and the Slater King is hey, are you okay? Basically helps her up. They spend the whole rest of the night together. Slater introduces her to his circle of friends, and then he's even though the night's over, he's taken away because he has a vacation to go to, right? And then at the very last minute, he comes up to Jess and Frida, and he's hey, I know this is crazy, but we just had a really good night.
Do you guys want to come?
Do you guys want to come to the island? Jess and Frida, of course, are hell yeah. And then this is where I was I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's very sketchy, and I think now, knowing what I know about Hollywood and stuff like that, just stranger danger in general, right? You should never go with a stranger. You don't know these people, even though you have a really good night. You don't know what could happen, especially if he already has a really sketchy past. But at the same time, you can't always think in a negative way, sometimes the best things that happen to you is because you take a chance and everything. And I don't know, you don't automatically think the worst. You should sometimes, not in a bad negative way, but just to protect yourself type of way. But who's gonna be oh, I'm going to this island to get freaking Tate drugged and then, taken advantage of. So I can't fault them for going. Of course, you have to be stranger danger. You don't really know these people, but whatever, they go. As soon as they land, their phones get confiscated.
Phones, please. Wait, for real?
You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do.
At that point, I would have been wait a minute. We're not doing this right now. Hell nah. First of all, we're on an island with a billionaire and his friends. I'm not used to his lifestyle. I'm a girl. I love social media, and I love taking pictures, and I love showing off my pictures. Follow me on Instagram. Pirate Blog. Yeah. But I love Instagram and stuff, so I would want to obviously show people where I'm at, hey, I'm with the people. If it's one of those situations where you have to sign an NDA and they don't want to be on anything, okay, no problem, I won't be on Instagram, but I need to be able to contact my family. I don't believe in all that stuff. And of course, it's not on the plane or going to the plane hey, we're gonna take up the phones. It's after they already landed on the island, it's hey, we're taking up your phones. No, you should have told me that. I'm keeping my phone. Now, granted, something bad would have happened to them regardless, but the way that they were just easily able to give up the phone, I guess it was kind of peer pressure too, but that was also just kind of don't do that. Don't do that, Cause like at the very least have your freaking phone, you know, like at the very least, you don't know these people, like have your phone, share your location, like do the safety stuff. Yeah, they get their phones taken out. Slater does say like you don't have to do anything you don't want to. Sir, really, but everyone else is giving up their phone and you expect me to be the one who doesn't? I would be the one who doesn't if you're gonna say that. I'd be like, oh my god, thank you, you're right. I don't have to do anything I don't want to. But like, you know they have to do it. So they give up their phones. Already very sketchy stuff. But like the island is beautiful. They get their own rooms. Like everything's like looking great. They do drugs. So like they get free drugs, get free drinks, they get free room service. They're living on an island. Like everything's just like perfect, right? So the first 30 minutes of the movie, it's not really like a super long movie. Actually, I'm gonna take that back. It's a perfect length movie. It's an hour 42, I believe. That's how all movies should be. This is like a little tangent, but like I hate these freaking 2-hour movies for things that like don't need to be freaking 2-hour movies. Anyways, long story short, the first 30 minutes of the movie is just like all that I just said. Like it's really establishing Frida, it's establishing Slater King, it's establishing like this island and like what they're doing on the island. They do drugs. That same night, Frida had like the first, I don't even know like how many days have passed at this point, but the first or second night, Frida had spilled wine on her, right? They do drugs, they get like all high, they do like their weird little ritual stuff. I don't know what they were doing, by the way, like it was some weird stuff. Like it wasn't just like, I'm gonna dance the club music. It was just like weird. It looked ritualistic to me, but like honestly, I don't really care. That's their business. But she like suddenly comes to, and it's kind of like, you know, obviously like it's implied that it's the next day, but like she just suddenly like comes to, and the stain that was there was like a really big stain. There's no way she imagined it because like it was there, everyone noticed it, people laughed at her, and some people were like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe it. And Slater was even like, hey, like we'll get this fixed. It's gone.
Oh.
So it's like, I don't remember changing into this dress, like this really clean dress. So either someone changed me or maybe I did it when I was intoxicated. And that's another thing. They're under a lot of drugs. There's a lot of things happening where it's just like, did I do this thing? Like, I feel like I didn't do it. I don't remember, but also like I was super intoxicated. I was under the influence. It's very highly possible that like I did this thing and like I just didn't know, right? So like I think it's like also one of those things, like I said before, it's very easy to kind of like give yourself excuses, and that's what Frida does. It's kind of like she notices it, but she just kind of like passes it on.
What? Nothing.
I do want to mention that on this island, even though everything is going perfectly, there is like one threat. Well, there's two. The first one is like the more serious threat. There are a lot of snakes, and apparently they're very venomous. And so like the people, like the maids and the servants on the island, I guess, like the maids, like it's their job to like kill the snakes. So that's like one thing that you have to be careful of. There's like snakes around because obviously it's like a tropical island, like you're gonna find like predators, right? The second thing are the actual maids. They don't speak English. I don't know what like ethnicity they're supposed to be or like what race they're supposed to be. I'm stuck between like some sort of like Hispanic Latino, and then some sort of like Pacific Islander, like native. I really can't tell. I could also just not pick up on the language they were speaking. They don't speak English, so like for Frida, like she just is very wary of them, like almost as if they're kind of threatening to her. So she's kind of like being wary of them as well. Okay, it's kind of at this next part that we start getting a little bit shaky, right? The way my brain works, I'm always just like, why? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this happening, right? And then this is also going to be, we're gonna pretend like we all finished the movie, right? So yes, we are in the middle of the movie. We are going to pretend like we watched the entire movie, so that way this next part makes sense. But long story short, so one thing I didn't mention was that Slater's therapist was also at the party, the original party that he met Frida at, right? Like I said, he introduced her to everyone, so he's like, hey, this is my therapist. And so Frida like tells him like, oh, I won't forget you, like blah blah, nice to meet you, I won't forget you, blah 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 blah, right? So for some reason, somehow the therapist gets on the island, right? And he has like a gift bag and everything, and it's just like, okay, like what's going on here? But Frida's like, obviously she's not gonna think anything of it. Like she knows that's a therapist, like maybe he's like has a therapy session, right? Oh my gosh, I know you. The therapist's like, where you know me from? You don't know me. Like, why do you know me? He's like, no, I remember you. He's like, what are you talking about? You remember me? Like, you don't remember me. There's no way. Like, I don't know you. And he's like, no, yeah, you are Slater's therapist. We met at the party a few weeks ago, right? Like a few days ago. And the therapist's like, yeah, the party.
I remember you. From the gala?
That's right. That's right.
Put a pin in that, okay? Put a pin in that, because not only do they say, yeah, the party, okay, let me get the hell out of here. He also says, later, thank you for your gift. And it's just like, okay, the gift, he's holding a red bag and there's like multiple red bags. So it's like, okay, like, why is he getting a gift? But like, again, it's like one of those weird things where it's like, this is weird, but like it's none of my business. So like, I'm gonna pass it on. And that's what Frida does. She kind of just like, whatever, like it's odd, but like, whatever. The problem is like, I already walked in knowing what this movie was about. So like, I don't know if, cause like now we're kind of getting like subtle hints, right? Like little things that are happening, like Frida's dress being fixed. I didn't tell you this, but like one of the maids, it's kind of like not harassing Frida, but like is like really intently looking at her and like calling her like a nickname, like Red Rabbit. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? And then the whole thing of the doctor now, the whole thing of the memory, like just little things that people will say and like do where it's just like, okay, like all together, you might be able to start thinking it. So I don't know if I had like walked into this movie completely blind, like would I have been able to pick up on it? But because I already knew the thing, I already knew what was happening. So like when I saw the doctor, I already knew, or not the doctor, the therapist, I already knew like, okay, that gift, whoever was the gift, it was a person. That was not no gift bag. It was a person, because obviously like there's something sinister going on this island. And then obviously like the maids at the we'll talk more about the maids and like their relationship to Frida later, but like in the moment, knowing what I know about like the premise of the movie, I was like, oh, they're trying to warn her, like, hey girl, like this ain't the island you want to be on, like this ain't the island, like you got to get off. And that's why they're kind of like semi-harassing her in a way. Like I already knew all this going in, right? So my issue with the movie though, and this is like where the first issues start happening. Frida's friend Jess has like, you know, like they're besties, like they're basically sisters at this point. They accompany each other. Jess is like, out of all of them, she's the only girl who's like really starting to question things and like really starting to feel sick and everything, just being confused and like ready to go. So I didn't have a problem with this, but I was just like, why are you feeling this like way? Like, I just feel like we didn't get enough reason as to why she felt this way. Again, we're gonna pretend like we already watched the movie, right? So, which we did, but like we're gonna pretend like, right, even though we're in the middle of the movie summary, we're gonna pretend like we watched it already. So we did watch it already, so let's talk about it. So one big thing is that so all the people, they use like a perfume, right? Well, really the girls are using perfume, and the one guy are using perfumes, and basically we find out that the perfumes are helping them lose their memory. Along with the drugs, of course, like everything's making them lose their memory. And the antidote to that is the snake bite. So Jess does get bitten by a snake later on while they're doing their little like drug little moments, right? So she gets bitten by a snake, and so it kind of like already heightens her like issues. And then like I said, like we find out that the antidote to like this memory loss thing is the snake venom. So like if you get bitten by a snake or you drink like snake venom, which they have collected, for some reason the maids have it collected, then you will basically forget all your memories. Or no, sorry, opposite. You will remember all your memories, and which basically means they will remember the things that were done to them, because as we know, this movie is about people being taken advantage of, and it's been implied that they have been being taken advantage of already. So my only gripe here, I understand her being suspicious after getting bit by the snake. I mean, at this point, we don't know that the snake bite makes her nervous. But like, you know, like it kind of already adds on to her attention. So like it makes sense why she wants to leave. Sorry, I'm trying to get this hair out of my face. It makes sense why she wants to leave after getting bit by a snake, based on like in hindsight, like what we know. But again, now that we know what we know, it's like, why? And even like while I was watching the movie, even though I didn't know snake venom like did what it did, I was always wondering, why is Jess the only one who isn't like feeling it, right? Because like between the two of them, like Frida and Jess, I feel like Jess is the more carefree one anyway, so she should be the one that like is not questioning anything. If it's really came between the two of them, I would say like Frida's the one that we should be worried about, like wanting to leave, even though like she does say like this is the first time I feel seen and wanted and everything, which makes sense. But at the same time, it's like between the two of you, I would expect Frida to be the more nervous one, because she's the one noticing everything. So it just never made sense to me why Jess, even before her snake bite, was like really wanting to leave and like didn't feel comfortable and was asking all these questions. That was like my first thing, but I was just like, you know what, whatever, like it's like a one-time thing, whatever. Like I said, Jess wants to go home, and then on top of that, she gets bit by a snake. She's like freaking out for real. Everyone's kind of like blowing it off. They're like, it's not that serious, like you'll be fine.
Sorry, like, you going to like a hospital or something?
You'll be fine.
It's not dead.
And then she tells like Frida, like, I'm ready to go home. Frida's like, no, like we are enjoying ourselves. We have not had an opportunity like this. And then more importantly, I haven't had an opportunity like this. So we're staying. And then Jess is like, fine, we're gonna stay. The next day, Frida is like looking at Slater's house. Like she likes to go to Slater's place for some reason. I guess like kind of trying to like stalk him a little bit and like feel close to him. Yeah, exactly. Feel close to him and everything. And in one of the rooms, or I guess it's not Slater's room, but like one of the cottages has like all these gift bags, the same gift bag that like the therapist had, all these red gift bags. And then like she's kind of snooping, and then she runs into a maid, like when the same maid that's kind of been like harassing her and like staring at her and like looking at her and like staring her down, right? The maid is like, here, drink some of this stuff. Like obviously she doesn't say that in English, but like she hands her like a thing, and like Frida's obviously trying to like diffuse the tension. She takes a swig of it. She probably thinks it's alcohol. Shit, it's not alcohol. It's snake venom. And then the maid is like, red rabbit, red rabbit, red rabbit, red rabbit, red rabbit, red rabbit. We do not know what's going on at this point. At this point, again, I feel like it's a warning from the maid. Now, why did she feed her snake venom? In the moment of watching the movie, I did not know. I had no idea. I was like, is she trying to kill her or trying to warn her, or like what is going on here? But now we know that obviously snake venom helps with the memory loss. And so in hindsight, that's why we start seeing Frida like kind of like get like flashes of memory. It's not her whole memory back, but she's starting to get flashes of like things that just happened. And so it's like very weird stuff. And then while she's at the pool with the girls, the guys decide like they want to go fishing, whatever that fucking means. Like one of the girls asked for a lighter. Now throughout the movie, there's been like this thing where basically they will always be asking for a lighter. Obviously, like they're doing drugs, right? Like they're smoking that woo-ha. So they need a lighter to like light up their stuff. And the only person who has a lighter is Jess. Because that, like, you know, because that happens, like a light bulb goes off in Frida's head and she looks and she's like, well, where is Jess? Because all the girls are supposed to be like sunbathing at the pool. Jess is not there. Jess has not been there since the morning time. And Frida is now only like realizing that. The problem is, even though they've been spending however, I mean, Lord knows how many days, like we dead ass don't know how many days they've been here. Like I'm gonna say at least like a few, like maybe 4 days, even though they've been spending 4 days together, even though like they know Jess is there, like they've been interacting with Jess, like Jess has the only lighter, so they have to talk to her and like making jokes and banter like throughout this entire like movie. Like Jess has been like a part of this group. Even though that's true, when Frida asks, where's Jess? All the girls, like it's like 5 girls total. So Frida, Jess, and like the other 3 girls, all the other 3 are just like, who are you talking about?
Where's Jess?
Who's Jess?
And that's when Frida's like, hell nah, there's no way. Like all this other stuff is happening. Like, yes, that's weird. Like my dress is like a little bit weird. My body's a little bit sore. Yes, like that's odd. Like these maids are a little bit weird. All this stuff is like going on. Like it's really suspicious, but like there's a reason. There is no reason you guys don't know Jess. Jess has been here and you guys are not gonna convince me that I'm crazy. You guys have her lighter even. After that, she's just like, hell nah, like something weird's happening. That on top of her, like the snake venom starting to work and like get her memory back, she starts going ballistic. So like I said, there's 3 other girls, right? There's another girl named Sarah. Sarah and Frida kind of like are bumping heads, like have been bumping heads throughout this entire trip because Sarah really likes Slater, but Slater like has all his eyes on Frida. And then obviously Frida's not stupid. So like she feels the tension, so she's just like, she doesn't like Sarah. So Sarah and like Frida aren't like really friends, but like at the same time, like they're all on vacation together. So it's kind of just like a cordial thing. But Sarah comes up to Frida while Frida's like freaking out, she kind of like ran away from the other girls and she's freaking out by herself. And then Sarah comes up and she's like, here's a lighter. And on the back of the lighter is Jess's name. So Sarah knows, even though she doesn't remember Jess, she knows that Jess exists. Like it isn't something that Frida's like making up like out of nowhere. Like she's having like a mental breakdown. Like no, like it's real. Like this is her lighter and it says Jess. So like I know Jess is here. I just don't know who Jess is. The thing is, Sarah also is just like on top of that, like things are just like really weird. Like I don't remember anything. I know I've been on drugs. Like I know I've been doing drugs and stuff like that. But like Sarah has a background in reality TV, and the reality TV show that she went on is kind of like a Survivor, like knockoff in a way. Like those like Animal Planet or like Discovery Channel shows where like the people have to put themselves in like this like really tough situations. So she's been on like those things where she had to like put her body in a tough situation and stuff like that. So she knows like, yes, I can get drunk, yes, I do drugs, but like there's no way like I'm gonna black out every single night to the point where I don't even know what day it is, to the point where like I'm just confused. And then also like I'm having like these weird bruises. She shows like the bruise and she's like, there's no way I wouldn't remember where I got this.
I'm sorry. What is this? What is that?
So like things are just not adding up. She also is aware that things are happening. Okay, so we have 2 girls. One who like, it's like she already took in the snake venom. Again, we at this point don't know what snake venom does, but like We know that Frida's starting to like get her memories back for some reason, snake venom, but for some reason Frida's getting her memory back. She's very skeptical. And then we have Sarah who like doesn't have her memory back, but is also very skeptical. So like they know something's going on. The guys are gone. The other two girls are like sunbathing. So these two girls are like, it's up to them to figure out what's going on and then plan an escape if need be, right? That's where we are in the movie right now. So like I said, like these two women, okay, they know like something's going on. So Frida remembers like the gift bag little thing, and so like brings Sarah there. So Frida and Sarah in the gift bag thing. They're looking through the gift bags. They find a bunch of perfumes in the gift bags, and then like that's when they kind of have like, their little epiphany moment. I don't know how they're making all these connections though, because I would not have made this connection. But they're like, oh, he's using the perfume to, or they're like the guys are using the perfume to make us lose our memory. Okay, so they're trying to figure out, okay, we know this is like what's going on. Like the perfume's making us lose our memory. Now what do we do? They're like, we can't go to the police because that sounds really crazy. Like that doesn't make any sense. But maybe we can get other people to start getting their memory back. How did you get your memory back? Talking about Frida, like how did Frida get her memories back? And then she suddenly is like, the snake venom.
She got bit by a snake. And I drank this.
And then so they drink the snake venom, and then Sarah gets her memory back as well. And then they make a plan to basically make cocktails. Now, if it sounds like I'm just like running through this plot, that's one of the big problems of the freaking thing. And like, it's really just the second half. The first half I feel like was so cohesive. I think also because there was like less details and more mystery, there wasn't like a reason to be cohesive, I guess. But like, I don't know, and maybe I'm crazy and I just want to hear other people's opinions. Cause like I said, I usually will like look at other people's like opinions and like other people's reviews and see if like people agree with me. But I didn't want to do that this time because I was like, okay, well, like I don't want to be like I wanted to talk about this movie basically, and I didn't want to be influenced by other people just yet. Like maybe after this video I'll probably look at some stuff and see if people had the same idea. But like I just feel like the second half is so rushed and a little messy, and then just kind of loses the plot. Like honestly, we lose the plot. Like first of all, how did Frida know to go back to this place to find the gift bags? And then how did they find out that the perfume is what was losing the memory? And then also, how did she suddenly, I guess that part isn't too bad. Like the whole snake venom thing, like, oh, we're gonna drink snake venom and then like, that's gonna help me get memory. Because like out of everything, like that's the only thing that she did and she got her memory back. So I guess that part's okay. But it's just like, things just kind of like happen. And I'm not trying to nitpick and I really don't want to. It's just like, I feel like we were just like, yes, we found out what was going on about them getting like us like SA'd basically, like sexually assaulted, and like just things just started like happening and people like discovering this and realizing this and all that stuff, and I was just like, Savannah, slow down, like calm down. This is also where the tone of the movie kind of changes too. So, you know, I guess the thriller part of it, or like the mystery of it all is kind of solved at this point. We know that the men are taking advantage of them, so it like the genre kind of shifts to become like kind of like an action. And I hate to say it, but like an action comedy, which I really hate. Like, I really hate the fact that, like, I feel like there was a lot of humor thrown into it. Now, I'm not gonna lie and say, like, there wasn't humor in the first part, but, like, in the second half of this freaking movie, like, I feel like they were making, like, all these freaking jokes. You know how people, like, make, like, the Marvel movie jokes where it's, like, people will make, like, people in Marvel movies, especially in Phase 4, will, like, make these corny jokes at, like, the worst times. And I feel like this is also what was happening in this freaking movie. Like, there was a lot of, like, like, he, like, ooh, like awkward faces and awkward reactions.
It's really bad.
Oh, that's venom.
Yeah, dude.
Why didn't you warn me?
It did.
And it's like, bro, like this is, if anything, this should be the more serious part of the movie because we just found out you guys have been getting taken advantage of for days. Like days. So I think the more subtle humor that was like in the beginning of the movie should also be here.
Yeah, what's in these? Snake venom?
But anyways, I'm getting like way past myself. I have not even finished talking about the second half of this movie. It's just like things were just happening and I was just like, what the freak? And this is like why I wanted to talk about, exactly, right, Hello Kitty? Like this is why I wanted to talk about it anyway. So Sarah drinks the snake venom. She gets her, well, she doesn't get her memory back, but they know she's gonna get her memory back. They're like, okay, we need to get these last two girls to get their memory back too, because like we just need them to get their memory back. At this point, I'm like, is that a good idea? Because like, this is like a ticking time bomb. The guys are gonna come back. Like this is like really bad. But basically they pretend like mix shots and stuff like that with the snake venom. all the girls at this point have taken the snake venom, so we are good to go. It's just a matter of like, when will everyone get their memories back? The guys are on a fishing trip, they finally come back, and this is where it kind of gets really scary, because at this point, and this is like, this part was actually kind of good too, right? Because you're kind of trying to figure out, okay, at what point will the girls start remembering? And like, it's like this tension at least, right? Where it's like, if they remember now and they start freaking out, all these men are here with the same objective. So like, one of these girls, like, they're gonna die. Like, all these girls are gonna die. So like, it's just like this matter of like, oh my gosh, like, what's the perfect time for them to actually remember? So that part of it was good. But then there's like a whole nother side plot. And I think it's another thing, there's like so many little side plots. And it's not really side plots. I can't say side plots because like they did add up to it, but it's just like, I don't know. I wish it was put together a different way. But long story short, Frida decides like, hey, we're gonna need to find the phone. So like, you save the girls, see like when they get their memory back, I'm gonna find the phone. However, if the guys come back, shout fat blunts. Okay, obviously it's supposed to be a joke, but it's like, bro, like,
Fat blood.
you see what I mean? Like, okay, let me stop. So Frida's like looking for the phones in that same room, or I don't know if it was Slater's room. I can't remember if it was exactly Slater's room or if it was just like the gift bag room, but either way, she's like looking for the phones. So she does find the phones, but they're not working. And then like, while she's doing all this stuff, she also finds a bunch of pictures, right? So there's like another guy on the island. Like I said, there's like a bunch of Slater's friends on the island, and one of them is like taking pictures of people, like Polaroids. And, like, obviously at the time you're like, oh my gosh, like memories. But like, it turns out that like also part of their thing is like, they will take pictures of the customers, the rapist, basically, with their bags. And it's kind of just like a implication where it's like, oh, the job is done, I got my gift, like, thank you for your gift, thank you for my gifts later. And then also an implication where it's like, they get the perfume to use on victims. So there's basically like a freaking business here, like, right, like, hey, like, sample it out on the island and then go use it yourself. Like, that is so messed up. And then because she saw those pictures, it's like, yes, she was getting her memories back in like flashes, but suddenly like, boom, she gets like the big memory of like the night where, I mean, like, it was multiple nights, but she gets one big memory of like one of the nights where like things were just really, really bad. Like, really bad. That's like an understatement, but like, basically, where all the girls were basically being hunted just to be taken advantage of sexually. Like, let me just say it straight up. Like, they were being sexually taken advantage of, basically being hunted. It was really scary. And it turned out, like I had said before, that Slater's therapist was one of the customers, which is why when Frida was like, oh my gosh, I remember you, he's like, what? You remember me? Like, what are you talking about? She was talking about from the party. But in reality, it's like, he thought that like, oh, it was actually like something more. So we're going really fast, right? So here's what happens. So basically, somehow, some way, Slater is like very suspicious of Frida and also Sarah. Let me not say somehow, some way, because they're also acting very suspicious, okay? Like, they are like freaking out and like stumbling over their words and like acting just very weird, very odd. Very obvious, right? But like, honestly, I can't fault them, because like, if I found out this stuff and like I only had like a few hours to like act normal again, yeah, I also would be acting really, really weird. But Slater, obviously, he's a freaking psychopath, sociopath, whatever you want to call it, like, is good at reading people. He's like picking up on it, and we can tell, like, right? It's like, that is a good thing that they did in the second half. As much as I don't like the second half of this movie, I will say Zoe Kravitz did a really good job of like doing the tension, because you can tell. And like, I even say it like to myself, I'm like, is he actually like suspicious? Or are we viewing this as someone who's paranoid? And like, you know, like whenever you're paranoid, like you're hyper aware of like people's faces and reactions and stuff like that. And then like, maybe you're reading into something that isn't actually true, right? So like, is Slater actually being like, you know, like, is he actually being suspicious?
What about you, Sarah?
No.
You having a good time?
Oh.
Or am I just so paranoid right now that like, I think he's being suspicious, but he's just really not. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like this tension, like, where it's like, okay, does he know? And if he does know, again, like I said, the other two girls, like, they've had like multiple shots of the snake venom, and like they're all eating dinner with the guys. So it's also this tension where it's like, okay, when will the girls like reveal that they know, you know, like, because it just kind of happens suddenly. Like, it's not like something where you like you can just act normal and then like you'll get your memory and then, like you could just pretend and then kill them. It's like it hits you, right? Like that's what's been happening with Frida and even Sarah. Like it just hits you, and then like, you know, like at that point someone will notice that you're being weird. It's not like you can just pretend like nothing happened. So it's like this tension of like, okay, Slater's acting suspicious, like he's like onto us. So like it's like a ticking time bomb for him, but then also the other two girls, it's like a ticking time bomb for them, because if they do one thing that's wrong, it's like all these guys will like kill them, basically, like kill them, everyone will be onto it, all that stuff. So I will say that the tension was really good. I just feel like there were so many freaking jokes in the second half that like did not need to be there, like a lot of comedic moments that did not need to be there, that it messed up the tension. And also like I just felt like a lot of things were just kind of just like just happening, like I don't know, like it's just like happening too fast. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot like a little bit of the movie, but oh, let me not forget this one. So at this point they suddenly like get split up, like not split up, but like they eat dinner and then like everyone kind of goes their own way. So like everyone kind of like takes their girl, because like obviously like it's a trip, like it's like a vacation trip, but like obviously everyone kind of has like the person that they want to be with. So like each girl kind of goes with like the person that they've been with, right? Somehow, some way, Slater finds out that Frida knows, right? And so they get in like a big tussle. And then the other two girls finally start remembering, right? And then this is also where it kind of got really fast, like just like really fast. But like I guess thinking back on it, like thinking on it now, it's like what other way would they have gone? But the other two girls who, let me see if I can remember their names. Camila and Heather, like those are the other two girls, right? They remember, and because they're like with their respective guys, they like kill both guys, right? Very fast, very easy. I thought it would be like more struggle, but honestly, like at this point, like what else could I possibly ask for? They kill their people. However, in the process, they get killed too. Because remember, at the end of the day, they're outnumbered by a bunch of predatory men. So yes, they're killing the guys, but they get killed as well by, I think one got killed by security, and then the other one, like by Slater's security guard, and the other one, I forgot how she died, but like they basically died. However, the thing is, surprisingly, to me at least, like the guys, the other surviving guys are running to Slater's cabin because they're like, oh my gosh, these girls are like they're bloodthirsty and they're gonna kill us. To me, like realistically, and I'm not one of those people who are like, oh my gosh, everything has to be realistic. Like at the end of the day, this is a freaking movie. Like it's not, unless it's like the movie is like super, super, super realistic. Like no, like this movie is like has like memory losing perfume and then snake venom as an antidote. Like it's like it doesn't have to be super realistic. Suspension of disbelief is a thing, but at the same time I'm like, why are the guys running afraid because the girls have their memories back? Like I feel like the more accurate thing to happen would have been like for the guys to band together and then to you know, threaten the girls more. Not that I want that to happen, but I just feel like in real life, that's what would have happened. It's like, oh, you're on to me. Okay, now you have to die, right? But okay, whatever. Like, again, like, what am I supposed to do? This is like the direction that they went in. So, okay, whatever. The guys are running scared. Two of the girls are dead. Frida and Sarah are still alive, and those are like the main girls who like we want to be around anyway, because like they're the smartest ones. And then so Frida, I think Sarah is in the woods with like the guy who was like her boyfriend, who was like the one who was mostly raping her. So like she's killing him and everything. Frida runs into Slater's cabin or something like that. She meets Stacy. Stacy, I didn't mention this, but Stacy is like an older woman. She's like Slater's assistant, like personal assistant, like does stuff for him. However, it's implied that she's also been drugged. So Frida like had given her shots like previously, and then so she remembers everything, and Frida's like, oh my gosh, like, do you remember? And then Stacy's like, I remember, but I didn't want to remember, B. So like she's like trying to kill Frida now. She's one of those people who are basically like, you can't do anything, you can't win this game, so it's better to just like take advantage of it, like be complicit, but also like take advantage of it. Like, you know, we're on an island. Like, you know, like we're rich, you can't change men, like just take what you can from it. So it's like she's one of those types.
They're gonna do what they're gonna do. You child. Forgetting is a gift, hon.
Girl. Okay. But Frida basically like kills her, I believe, and then not that it freaking matters. Everyone literally dies in this thing, so it really doesn't freaking matter. Like how Stacy died. And then this is another thing that like I really hated. Like she kills Stacy, and then Slater's bodyguard comes in to kill her, right? Because he's the only one who has a gun. Like everyone else is kind of like either stabbing or like slamming things and, you know, bludgeoning people to death, right? But Stan's the only one with a gun. Frida just killed Stacy. She's like, you know, like she just killed Stacy. She's not really thinking anyone's there. Stan like knocks her over is like, hey, surprise, and then like is about to kill her. I really hate this. Like, I feel like this is like a very bad directorial thing, but he takes like literally 3 or 4 seconds to like just standing there. Like, and I hate it because like I'm not saying it, like we've seen it before, right? In movies where like someone has like a perfect shot but they don't take it, but like dead ass, the way it was filmed, it took like he literally was just standing there like for 5 seconds, like just waiting. At least in the other movies and other shows, when like they have like a perfect shot and they don't take it, it's like 1 second and then maybe they get knocked off or something, right? Like it's more realistic. Like it's literally like a second of like hesitance and then like they get knocked off. I swear this guy was standing there for like 3 to 5 seconds just like looking at her like this. And I was just like, in what world are you gonna wait that long? Like if it was, I swear I wouldn't care. This is a nitpick, but like I would not care if it was just like the 1 second, like the average 1 second, like, and then boom, you get knocked, right? But it's like literally like, that was like ridiculous. It's not even me coming at a place of like, okay, you like, it's so bad and unrealistic for like a trained assassin bodyguard to not take the shot. That's not the problem. It's like, it's unrealistic that a bodyguard would stand there after having a perfect shot, would just stand there for 5 seconds. Like film that better. That's like, that's actually like a filming issue. So that's like a point against you, because that's like, that pissed me off. That pissed me off. I was just like, what the freak? I can suspend my disbelief, but like not that much, because that did not make sense. It was very short because he took like 5 seconds to kill that girl. Sarah like slams him with a rock and then kills him. And then so now Sarah has a gun. Frida doesn't have anything really, but like, I mean, she has a knife, I guess, but like Sarah has a gun, Frida has a knife. Yeah. And then so like they only have literally Slater and then like a few other guys, like the guys who are like in the cabin, they have to take them out. Long story short, okay, let's just we're at the end of the movie at this point, so I don't even want to like, I don't even have to do this chronologically. I will tell you everything that happened. So let's just get to it. So Sarah and Frida are back on the island, or back in like the villa for to like kill Slater. Basically they don't get Slater, but they do get Slater's friend, and they get another guy. So now it's just the 3 of them all alive, right? Somehow, some way, Frida gets all her memories back, and Slater's like basically giving her like his villain monologue, which, oh my gosh, pissed me off, right? And he's basically saying like, you know, like, I'm not gonna stop doing this, like no matter how many times I say sorry, like it doesn't even matter, because like I could say sorry but I'm not really sorry. And then like, honestly, in a good moment of acting for Channing Tatum, like he just starts shouting sorry, 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 sorry. And then he's like, okay, so now what?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
Okay, that was a really good scene in terms of acting, but like again, this is all just like a bunch of stuff just happening, and I think it just, the plot starts getting muddled and convoluted at this point, because also we find out that Frida has been here before. Basically, she's been on this island before, and I guess she was like drugged enough where she forgot everything, but maybe, girl, when that happened, I was just like, what? Like, okay, let's just come back to it. Let's finish summarizing the movie and then we'll just go back, because this whole ending part, I think this is like the last 30 to like 20, like 10 to 20 minutes of the movie. Like I was just like, what is going on here? Like what is happening? So we find out that Frida's been in the thing. Frida remembers that she used to be here.
This is impossible unless I've been here before.
Somehow Slater gets distracted. Frida, he like takes a shot of his vape, like a hit of his vape, for some reason during his monologue, and then like he's like coughing like crazy, and it turns out Frida took some of the perfume and was able to put it in the vape. So like now Slater's like forgetting his memories, he's like looking around, he's seeing all these dead people, he's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and then knocks out.
There is no forgiveness. Only forgetting.
And then Frida and Sarah set the house on fire to kill everyone and like get rid of evidence, but also like Frida goes back to save Slater for some reason, and there's like a scene which I do not like a still shot of like Frida holding Slater like knocked out, and she's just like sitting in the fire. Really didn't like that. And then there's like a little like flash forward, and we see like Slater at one of those like really popular cocktail parties that Frida used to be a waitress at, and Slater's therapist is like, oh my gosh, Slater, like you're back, like blah blah blah, and they're trying to have small talk, and Slater's like he's trying to like, you know, catch up with the conversation, but like it's very clear that he's like very confused. Maybe he doesn't know the guy, like he's just like, he's trying to act like he does, but he doesn't like know what he's doing. And then we see like, oh, here's my wife, and it's Frida, and she like looks very demure and very good and very fancy, and like she like takes an award or all that stuff, and that's how it ends.
Eat your steak, honey.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Frida King. 1, 2.
And like basically Slater is like her husband now, but like he doesn't remember anything because he's been like drugged the same way she was drugged. So, and then that's the end of the movie. Okay. Okay. I hate the ending. I hate the last 20 minutes of this fucking movie. I cannot stand this shit. Okay, let's just start with like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm just remembering everything and like, bro, imagine like a movie was being so good in the beginning and it's just like, the middle is just like, okay, don't like it, but whatever, we're gonna get back. And then like the end is like even worse. And you're just like, what the freak is happening? I'm gonna curse a lot. I'm trying not to, but like, bruh. Okay. Let's start with the first complaint I have. I mean, I already complained about like the basic stuff, like the tonal change, the fact that like there was all this tension that I thought was really good, but like all the jokes were missing it, like all that stuff, all the comedic moments. I feel like there was like a walking scene with Frida and Sarah with like Beyonce playing in the back. Not bad in a different freaking movie, but I was like, this doesn't match the tone of the freaking movie. Like, is this like, and I'm not a conservative, right? So when I say girl boss, I'm not trying to make it like a derogatory thing, but in this situation, yes, girl boss derogatory, because like, is it supposed to be like this girl boss scene of like, it just didn't fit the tone. It was messing up the tension. And I did not like that. So that was like my number one complaint. But let's talk about these things that happen at the end, because what the heck? So Frida used to be there on the island, or not used to be there, but she was a victim before. So she somehow got brought back because she forgot all the memories. And so Slater running into her, okay, everything's making sense in that sense, because it's like, okay, maybe that's why she has like this obsession with Slater, because like from the beginning of the movie, she's like always like kind of looking at him and like watching his interviews. So maybe subconsciously she had like this connection to him that obviously she doesn't know what's going on, but like it's because of what happened in the past. Like she just knows, right? It's not fear, but she's like interested in him. Number one, that makes sense. And then it also makes sense why if Slater is like automatically like enamored with her, it's like, oh shoot, like I have another chance to like take advantage of this girl. Like this is hilarious. Like obviously for him, he gets pleasure from this kind of weird stuff. So like that makes sense too, like why he like instantly gravitated towards her and like wants her, right? Okay, that's fine. Like everything makes sense. It's not that things don't make sense. It's just more like, why was that the direction that we went in? Like, why does she have to have a connection with him? I get it. And again, I'm not trying to nitpick, but like, I also feel like it would also be just as powerful or even more powerful if she didn't know the freaking guy, right? Because that's like how a lot of things happen. Like, yes, you do know. A lot of times, like they do say like you get trafficked and like taken advantage of by people that you know. But in situations like this, it's just like, you know, she's a girl who's a little insecure, who wants like a nice time. And so she gets taken up. Like, she didn't have to have this weird, convoluted, like, connection to Slater and, like, oh my god, there's, like, everything that happened. You bit off this guy's finger because you were escaping. And then, like, again, like, in the moment of watching it, I was like, okay, so do they have, like, favorites? Like, do they take girls back? Like, I just feel like it just made things more complicated and like also just added this connection that we don't need, and then also gave Slater like a chance to have this monologue, which I hated, because just like, oh my god, like you really impressed me, like you forgot everything, but oh my god, like whoa, like shut up, like bro, you already like he's already doing a bad thing. Like we don't need it to be extra bad because like, oh, he took advantage of her again. Like, you know, if I'm missing something, please tell me. Which is why I had the disclaimer in the beginning. I was like, okay, maybe this is like important on some level, but like, I don't know. Same thing with like, why did she go to save him? Like, I feel like it would be more satisfying if she killed him and then took his company over, right? Like, because I mean, that's what's implied at the end of the movie. Like, she takes over his company, like, while he's kind of like this, you know, brainwashed zombie now, right? Because of like the thing, like she takes over as CEO of the company, right? But like, she could have done that without him. You know, like she could have done it without him. Now, I guess, like, again, I was thinking about it, like, to myself, like, because, like, I watched it, like, a few days ago, so I had some time to think. I was like, okay, I guess it's kind of, like, a satisfying ending in a way, because it's, like, you get to do to your abuser what they did to you, if you're into that. I don't know, like, some people, like, want that opportunity where it's, like, I want you to feel the hurt and the pain and the vulnerability that I felt. So, like, instead of, like, you know, some people say, like, there's punishment worse than death, right? So, like, I can see that being like a hurrah, like we did it. But I feel like, again, it's like, I feel like we could have gone a better direction, which is literally just like she takes over the company and maybe she flips it around to help women or something like that. But she doesn't need Slater. Like, we don't need Slater brainwashed like as her like little concubine husband thing. Like, I don't know, I just felt like it was unnecessary. Like, I just felt like that was unnecessary, and it was just like unsatisfying for me, because it was like, why is this happening? You know, like, you have like a good movie and it just ends very unsatisfying. At least for me, like, I was just unsatisfied. It was kind of like oh. And I hate that, right? Like, you would rather, you have a good movie already, you want to end on a high note. You don't want it to just be like, oh, like, okay, this is like where you're going. Yeah, I think overall it was a decent movie. I feel like the ending kind of like fizzled everything out, where it's just like, I feel like the ending just was just so not satisfying that like it really did ruin the entire thing. Because now when I think about it, I just think about like these plot points that like did not make sense. It's not like it didn't make sense, like it's confusing, but it's like it didn't make sense, like why is it here? Like, why would a man be there? You know, like, why would a man be there? But yeah, that's it. That's everything. Overall, not a horrible movie, and I think for like a debut directorial, like a directorial debut, like I think it was like a pretty good movie. And again, like the topic at hand is like very important. I just feel like we could have made better choices. Okay. Anyways, what was your opinion on Blink Twice? Did you watch it? Did you know about it? Is your opinion like close to mine, where it like started good but you didn't really like the second half and things didn't make sense? Or do you feel like everything like was there for a reason and everything made sense and everything was perfect? And if that's the case, please tell me why. Because again, I am open. I love talking about movies and I love talking about plots and stuff like that. I'm open to interpretation. Like, I'm open to like discussing everything. I just, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell ya. Other than that, yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, like the video. If you liked me, thank you for subscribing. You can also follow me on my social media. I go by rprincessbrina, so I'll link it down below. How about that? I will see you guys in the next video. It's nice to be back. Bye! Hey, I'm back! Oh my gosh, I'm back! Okay, yeah. Hi everyone. Not that you were waiting on me or anything, but I am back, and hopefully I'm back for real this time. I think my last video was like, I don't even know. This is so fucking stupid. I'm like reading the thing. What? Like, okay. Huh? I'm just like so confused. Like, it's not confused, like it's hard to comprehend what happened, because I know what happened. It's like confused, like why the fuck did that happen? Like why did that happen? Why did that happen?